problems. Oh!
What's it? You can leave your head on. What is it for, Monty song? No, listen to me.
What's up, guys? So we are finally back in the gym. It is actually a Wednesday. Yeah,
We've been ill.
basically we've been ill. We got hit by the standard yearly flu thing, and when we thought we were over it, it then kicked in for another couple of days. Alright, we were not over it. So this is our first day back. So we are back and we're doing a 10 to 12 rep contraction week to get back into it. What we're not doing is high rep week, because what that tends to do is pushing the high reps when your immune system's been down is not what you want to be doing. So we're going to put our body through a standard well-paced session. We're going to finish with a little bit of like bag work or pad work if we can get hold of some pads. I've got some on order, so we're going to be going through and showing you all the bag work and boxing work and stuff anyway, don't worry. But today you're going to be just looking at 10 to 12 reps, kind of a standard routine, but remember, we train everything twice a week, so we're doing two exercises, 4 to 5 sets per exercise, but that will then be repeated again in the week, but with different exercises. So everything gets trained twice, but the volume gets reduced, and today we're going to be doing 3 body parts. It's the first day, so we're going to choose what we're going to do on the fly, and I think we're going to do back, that's your choice. My choice, biceps.
And quads.
I suggest hamstrings.
Yeah, alright.
There we go. So we've got back, hamstrings, biceps today. So other than that, it's gloomy, it's wet, it's November, it's surprisingly warm, but it's like not a nice warm, it's muggy. And yeah, pretty much, I'm not going to lie to you, had no motivation to come to the gym today, or yesterday, or the day before. And it's a lead on from being ill. It just because you sit in the house and you get cabin fever, and you sit there, and all your motivation goes. But the moment I got in the car, and the moment we left the house, and we're driving on the way here, we started having a bit of banter, a bit of a laugh, started to feel a bit more alive again. And it is literally getting your ass off that sofa and into the gym. I swear to God, that's the hardest part, other than what we're about to do.
What's up, guys? Back here with a voiceover for you, taking a look at a 10 to 12 kind of rep range training session of back, biceps and hamstrings. We're going to be looking here at the warm-up and some first sets and final sets, and where it was relevant, some mid-set look as well. Looking here, lat pull down, warm-up phase. A lot of people kind of just brush over this because they think it's just warming up the joints and muscles, but here I'm setting my posture as well. It's really important to set your mind to muscle connection with the lighter weight when you're warming up. Here we're looking to set the posture, especially on lat pull downs. We're looking to pull from the elbow, looking to keep our shoulders engaged. Look how I'm not letting my shoulders release at the top of the rep. We're using single arm plate loaded machine here, which is great if you have any imbalance or issues with like one side compared to the other. This makes them work independently, and it also gives you a visual aid of trying to keep the balance whilst you're lifting. Because if you're using a single pull motion where pulling one side of the machine makes the entire machine move, what that does is it doesn't help you incorporate the weaker side evenly. So what you'll get is a stronger side pulling over the weaker side. So if you do have imbalances, try and work single arms at a time. It's going to be way better, and it's going to help you get rid of that imbalance faster. So here we're loading up set number 1, maxing his awesome Bazinga t-shirt. But here you can see, look, independently moving. So what we're looking at here when lifting is we're making sure that each side is lifting equally to the other side. So we use these inner weird little red bits that are sticking off as a point of reference, looking at those to make sure that they're going up evenly and ending at the same spot. If you have one side working differently to the other, or an impingement in your shoulder, what you'll see is that side pull a little bit lower or a little bit higher. What you want to do if you do see that is adjust and find out what's causing that. It's going to feel weird if you're not used to seeing it and then you do find an imbalance. When you start pulling evenly, it's going to feel off balance, which I know is weird, but it is what will happen is it will feel weird because your body has got used to lifting with an imbalance. So here what I'm looking to do is watch my left shoulder, which is the one that wants to pull up. I'm making sure that I'm pulling from the elbows, and I'm pulling with an arched lower back, chest up, and I'm not swinging, no swinging, and not disengaging the shoulders at the top of the rep. There is absolutely no real benefit from letting your shoulders go at the top of the rep. That overstretching, all it is doing is bringing your joint in, and then it's also making you disengage and re-engage your scapula, which again doesn't maintain that control. Here you can see, here's a prime example. See how Max is letting his shoulders come up a little bit too high? You'll see in a minute that we corrected this. As this is probably as he got a bit tired and we put the weight up. Here we're up to around about 60 kilos on each side. No, maybe 50 kilos on each side. And he was getting a little bit tired. You can see him shake his head because he felt it go. Again here, using music as a fuel, guys. I will put a playlist up somehow and I can think of an interesting way to do it. But look how my shoulders are being kept held down. That is enabled by keeping a lower arch in the back, chest up, and I am lifting by pulling from my elbows and then extending the elbows upward, letting my arms extend rather than my shoulder joints extending, if that makes sense. Again, this is where your warm-up comes into play and setting your body posture and motion prior to going into the heavier lifts. We then moved on. Again, we're looking at that more functional work now, so we don't want to be doing too much rigid work. We want to be bringing in more things that involve the core, setting our stance and things like that. So we thought we'd have a look at some standing upright rows, but for the back. So here what we've got is we've got the two handles that you might see on a cable machine, and what we're looking here is we're trying to rotate over. So we're creating a nice pull and then a good contraction by rotating the hands over, making the knuckles face the floor. It allows us to squeeze the back together, and it's a real nice close grip movement this. Again, we're stabilizing by lower arch in the back, chest up, relaxing the neck so we're not bringing the traps in, and then we're also looking to keep our core tight throughout, our knees bent and soft, and we don't want the body rocking back and forth. So what you can see here mainly, even as the sets increase as the time goes on, second set you can see the body isn't moving, it's held nice and rigid, core is maintained tight all the time, literally actively bracing my core. What a lot of people tend to do on especially like back and bicep movements is blow their stomach out, and what that does is it's not helping you build a stronger core, it's actually creating a weakness in essence because you're getting in bad habits. So here you can see we're putting the weight up. We end up with around about 3/4 of the stack at the end. But the thing here is watch how I set this. So what we're going to do is lift off, set the shoulders back, watch carefully there, you'll see me roll them back, and then from there I then kick my hips back and lean my chest forward, keeping my chest up and a lower arch in my lower back. Or even an arch in my lower back. And but the main thing there was shoulders were engaged, and then as I came forward I didn't disengage them. And here you can see I'm keeping the shoulders back without tensing. I'm keeping my neck relaxed, which is helping to keep my traps out of the situation. What a lot of people do on row motions is they bring the traps in. So the trick is try not to tense your jaw and neck, and that's going to help you not subconsciously bring in your traps, but also focus on deliberately not bringing them in. If you do find that your traps are getting engaged a little bit too much, literally stop mid-set, reset your body, and then keep going. Even if you have to reset every 3 reps, it doesn't matter. You are better off doing that and fixing issues that you have within your technique, and over time you'll have to reset every 6, every 8, and then eventually you won't have to reset at all because you'll have complete control. Just like stabilizer muscles for any movement, weaker areas need training. Here I was just showing we're going on to hammer curls, and I had to tuck my my phone into the back of my underpants. Underpants, who uses that anymore? Underwear, boxers, what, underwear, underpants. Anyway, moving on. Again, utilizing a standing position, bracing the core. This looks like a simple exercise, but there's a lot to think of here. You need to keep your chest up, shoulders back, hips kick back slightly, soft knees, and no rocking with the balance. Your body has to stay solid. The purpose of kicking the hips back is to give you clearance to extend the arms fully. If you're not getting a full extension on this exercise, you're not getting the benefit of it, and there's no excuse because it's a natural position for your hands to be in. Looking here from the back, you can see my shoulders are not rounded forward. They're held back, but they're not held back with tension. It's a relaxed stance, so they're held back with control. What I'm looking for then is full extension at the elbows and then curling up. Also, hand position here, you can see is quite high on the bar. You'll see it in a moment. The reason for that is if you keep your hands higher up, you keep the load on the bicep. If you put them lower down the bar, what happens is when you curl upwards, it gets to the top of the arc and it kicks into the body, and you actually lose some of the tension on the bicep, if that makes sense. Think about the arc of where you're lifting. If your hands are too low, that arc will come over and into the body. Here we're only using 10 plates a side, and that is testament to the mind to muscle connection that we have. If you can't fail on lighter weight, guys, then you've got to question your control on the heavier weights. I'm going to let you watch a raw set just so you can see how we get it done.
Kind of scary. Come on, last set. Take a deep breath. See, the important thing we're doing here is we're holding the bar at the top end. And by doing that, what you're not letting happen is you're not letting the load fire off into your face.
Oh my God.
There's nothing worse than a load in your face. You know, right? He knows. It's a serious now. Come on. Euro training. Euro training. CrossFit wanker.
Bringing back some of the old school, we thought we'd do some of the old seated preachers or cross-body curls, whatever you want to call them. But a lot of people I see doing these, and they don't tend to get the technique right. You do not need a lot of weight again, guys. Look, we're lifting here with 14 kilos, and this was intensely painful. What you're looking to do here is the side that I'm lifting, my right leg is slightly further forward than my left leg. My elbow is right in the middle of the inside of my thigh. It's not resting on the top, it's in the middle, as if there's like a pad behind the back of the arm. I'm making sure that my shoulder isn't moving back and forwards, so the only point of movement here is my elbow. And what I'm looking to do as well is I'm looking to come across the body. So I'm making sure that the dumbbell and my hand is in line with my elbow, which is also in line with my shoulder. I know it looks like it's a bit angled here, but that's just the camera angle. It is literally like a right angle. You can obviously play with this and find your comfortable position, but when you do, just make sure that you maintain the same position throughout. Again, shoulder control, making sure that you're not swinging, not letting the body kick backwards. If you are, lighten the weight, let the ego go and do the exercise properly.
This is severe close-up. This is like invasion of personal space.
So for those that don't know, I had a glute impingement due to a car accident, so my left glute and left shoulder are a bit messed up. So again, keeping that theory of working independently side to side, I went for some dumbbell straight leg deadlifts here. What I'm looking to do is drive evenly through each heel. So the load of this exercise should be felt in the heel. You should be basically preloading a stretch and then exploding up from the hips. What a lot of people do wrong with the straight leg is they lift like a deadlift and lift from the back. That's not the goal here. The goal here is to maintain the weight down into the heels of the feet and then drive your hips through. The only reason your body comes back up is because your hips are coming through. That's what's really important, and a lot of people tend to just, again, shift it, not lift it. You know, that's what they tend to be doing, and you want to be lifting and not just shifting. This is the whole purpose. So what you want to feel on here is a good negative stretch. You should be feeling a stretch from the base of the glutes all the way down, possibly through into your calf and Achilles, depending on how tight your hamstrings are. Then what you want to do is hold that stretch, hold that load there, and then drive the hips through. So you just drive with your heels and your hips. Let your shoulders stay a little bit rounded as you practice this, but as you get better at it, obviously re-engage your shoulders. You want to keep a nice neutral back, neutral head, and drive through the heels and the hips. It is a little bit hard and it does take time, guys, but stay patient. It is a great exercise.
Right, watch this. So we've just tightened that, holding this side up, we've just tightened that as much as our baby grips will allow. We don't have dad grip. Look at this.
Angular.
And I bet you most people use this and have no clue that that's off. We feel it straight away that that's off. Look at it. So we're going to try and compensate. There's no real way around it. You see how this padding here is thicker? We're going to, that left leg there, sit offset on the centre and pull through close leg. It's the best we can do.
So even though it's a bit messed up, the one thing to note here is doing your hamstrings, make sure that your knees are not coming up on the negative. Make sure that you're pulling through with your heels, and make sure you're contracting your hamstrings like you contract a bicep. It is really no different. The hamstrings are just the biceps of the leg. You want to be making sure that you're getting a nice full extension, stretch through the hamstrings, and then pulling and driving through with the heels. Keep your feet symmetrical and even. Do not let them twist and rotate off. If you're letting them twist and rotate off, what you risk doing is bringing the load up onto the knees, and that is not good.
Just remember,
Peter Andre's never wrong.
so safe, guys. Treat it safe, dude.
Warmed up. You know,
CD player warming up.
Yeah, you know, just
We've got
getting
a
into
fucking
the
8-track.
sliding through all my
Some cassettes
mixes,
out.
all my mixtapes.
Jesus. So we've done now because the gym's shut and it's coming to an end, so we haven't managed to get bag work in, but we did do 3 body parts. It was quite busy, to be fair. It was quite late and busy, so we'll get it in tomorrow. Probably wise not doing it today anyway, because when I did some bag work before, stupid this, and I preached don't do dumb shit, and I went and did dumb shit myself. The bag was swinging away from me, and rather than not going for the punch, I swung wide at it and hit it too far out, basically. Rabbit punched it, and what that does then obviously sends your elbow through your punch, which is what you don't want. You want the elbow behind. So it really pinged all along here, kind of twanged it down, because again my body wasn't used to it, which is the whole reason we're changing our training, so that shit like this doesn't happen. Because this is what happens when you're too fucking one-dimensional. You get hurt easier. So you saw at the end there the hamstring machine. We made the best of it, and it's still really, I mean, I was getting off limping. But be aware of stuff like that, because as much as gyms should look at the machinery and should check them every day, they don't. And to be honest, I don't reckon half of them even know what they're looking for.
No.
And that's a true fact. You look at most
because they
PTs in a gym.
Checked. They get checked every single day.
They should.
I see people get checking machines, but they're just checking.
And this is general.
Everyday stuff.
This is not just like here. This is gyms in general. Small, big, commercial, non-commercial. Unless you've got someone who really loves and specialised in what they do, like one of those kind of like the barbell brigade place. I'm pretty sure that place is checked out because it's specialist. But commercial gyms, they're not going to be. So make sure you tell them, give them the benefit of the doubt, and then they should repair it. If they don't, then you know they're just jacking around. But so we'll see. But we made the best of it, and what we did obviously was reposition our body to make sure that we weren't at risk. Had we not been able to do that machine safely, we would have gone and found an alternate exercise. We could have done lying down, but we want to do that next time. And secondly,
also while we're on machines,
yeah, the one here, literally, when you come down on negative, touches. They haven't designed it so that it becomes below negative, so it literally starts there, so you can't get a full. It's stupid, but anyway, so that's why we opted to just kind of make the best of that situation. But they've seen the training. You've seen that this is the kind of 10 to 12 standard way of doing things this week. It's how we're going to be doing it. Ease the body back in after being ill, and then next week we're going to go into volume week, and then the week after that we're going to heavy, and then we'll probably restructure again after that, because what we should really be doing is contraction into heavy and then light into contraction. It just works better that way for your body recovery wise. And that was a good session. I felt really good and very fucking full. My God. We've had 5 days off. We've had 5 days off. We've been eating because we've been ill. We've been making sure we've been eating. Still not eating tons because your appetite's not there when you're ill, but that rest, that replenishment of glycogen, and just eating more food from before, and the body just responds. So, for all you lovely little bastards that come on and complaining that I was looking too shredded or too this and that, whatever, leave now, because you're gonna get mad. You're gonna get so mad, because I'm sure you probably don't even know about this, because your knowledge is that of a keyboard and anger. He looks too good. There is a thing called 8% rebound, and it happens when you come out of a diet. And this is what either fucks you up or makes you look even better. 8% rebound is the body's way of dealing with being in a deficit for a long period of time. As you come out, your body responds with an 8% regain on top of your maintenance, because it's been in deficit. It's been starved according to your body. So it responds. Now you can make that fat, which most people do, because they come out of a diet and start eating, bulking, and they get fat because the body's going to store. Because that's what it's training, it's what it's designed to do. To help you. Your body is smarter than you are, so it's working with your body, not against it. And the reason we come out and reverse diet out is to ease our metabolism back up to deal with the calories, and secondly, to take advantage of this 8% rebound and make it more about mass of muscle rather than fat storage. So be prepared in the next 3 weeks to see me fill out, stay vascular, and look awesome. And then about 4 or 5 weeks in, it'll start leveling off and things will start smoothing out as the body kind of reverts back to a normal level. But where that would normally happen, and you start kind of like smoothing and looking a bit this is why we're going to introduce the cardio at this point and bring it up and up and up, so that the body's fitter. It's a better machine. The better machine your body is, the more efficient it's going to be, and that means less chance of fat storage. So cardio in the off season, one hell of a good idea. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're going to start asking me questions. Hit them up in the comment section below. I want to start maybe doing the videos by starting them now with a question and then going into the video, so we're getting like a mini Q&A in every video and something answered that everyone wants to know. So put your questions in the comment section below. The one or two that get the most likes, they're the ones that I'll answer in the next video at the beginning, and so I'll have the beginning Q&A and boom into the video. I think that's pretty sweet.
Clever.
Hell yeah. So until the next one, boom
baby.
Woohoo.